So what had happened was I was on the internet and I clicked on it and it almost seemed like clickbait, but then I don't know. I found myself like 16 minutes in trying to figure out like what were these guys trying to say. And so the reason I had so much trouble with it is because of this little thing called a fallacy. But the guy on the being interviewed, he 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 called other things pseudoscience, and he even identified fallacies. And so, gee, guys, I think I think I think I think differently. So man's got to have a little fun. So today, a case study is going to be provided by Urban Perspective, and today's exercise is to identify fallacies. And these guys are, well, I'll let you read for yourself. I mean, we have numerous claims made throughout this interview. Corey Holcomb's explicit rant against Christianity. And, well, we'll concentrate on the fallacies. Secondary focus should be testing the claim. And when I say concentrate, it's so many, we're just going to go with a couple. Give you a few definitions, vocabulary, and spells we should talk about. Coping mechanism, Stockholm syndrome, forced assimilation, i.e., slavery, one of the products of slavery, of course. Fallacies, in itself, we're going to define fallacy, and then the appeal to false authority, and appeal to anonymous authority. And for you, Mr. over at the Urban Authority, like, press pause if you need to read that. We're going to go through a few. So, coping mechanisms. It's a way to deal with stress, internal or external. Some people bite their fingernails. Some people make up stories and imaginary friends. Some people believe in what they believe. Whatever you need to do to get through. But it definitely is a coping mechanism. And one of the coping mechanisms I should mention is Stockholm syndrome. Only because, Stockholm coined the phrase, but what it is it's identifying with your aggressor so that you can no longer be perceived as a threat. 5 coping mechanisms black people use to survive slavery, or of course combining their religious beliefs with that of their native countries, with that of Christianity, it says, and spread throughout the colonies. And as a way to preserve your stories, you would mix it in. You'll find that common with the oppressor's story. And hey, if it sounds good, it sounds good. And then, you might be a kid the next generation doing it, just mixing the stories together. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Same result though, right? Move along. Let's define fallacy. Now, a fallacy is a mistaken belief, especially one based upon an unsound argument. And so you're doing a lot of that. A failure in reason that renders the argument invalid. We'll go through just a couple examples of that, what you do, but you do it numerous times and about numerous things. Fallacies are common errors in reasoning that will undermine the logic of your argument, right? Let's go to the first one. Appeal to an anonymous authority. And so take the time to read that. In there we hear an example being that experts agree. Yours are going to be historians agree that. Yours are going to be the vast historians agree that. And then appeal to an authority. You mentioned Darwin and talk about his uncle. And yeah, what is that? How about the first one? We'll explain. Can I be an historian? Anyone can be an historian, right? An expert in or a student of history can call themselves an historian, especially that of a particular period. Skipping along, an expert is a person who has a comprehensive knowledge or an authoritative knowledge. What do they mean with authority? Seems like their definitions, but again, where's the qualification? Okay, so that's one of your first fallacies you're going to commit. Appeal to someone that cannot be talked to. Who are the historians? Your next one is going to be, how about a famous physicist? This one's an appeal to a false authority. Right? I think you're going to start to mention historicity, and that's a statement. So, moving along. Let's just read that. Actually, we don't want to move on. You appeal to a false authority. Let's see. We should read that. Non-existent. A variation is appeal to a non-existent authority. For example, some read an article by creationist Dimitri tried to look up references articles and they're not there. Right. Kind of like their stories of, stories of, Okay, moving along. Gotta go fast. 17 fallacy types, and genetic fallacy is not one.